The emotional stakes of the episode rise dramatically as the consequences of the earlier social confrontation reach a heartbreaking crescendo with a late-night phone call that transforms teenage drama into a life-or-death crisis. Melanie Walsh, reeling from the perceived betrayal at the burger shack, calls Barbara in a state of profound despair. What begins as a painful expression of loneliness quickly escalates into a suicide threat, forcing Barbara and her family into a frantic effort to keep Melanie talking while help is summoned. This sequence stands as one of the most powerful and sensitive moments in the script, showcasing one day at a time at its finest, blending raw emotional intensity with the warm support of family and the gentle humor that prevents the story from descending into melodrama. In the context of 1970s America, when teenage mental health issues were only beginning to receive public attention, this storyline represents a groundbreaking willingness to confront the hidden pain of adolescence amid rapid social change. The phone rings in the Romano apartment at a moment when Barbara is still processing her guilt over the Cliff Randall incident. Melanie's voice on the other end is fragile and heavy with sorrow. "Nobody likes me. Nobody understands me," she repeats, her words carrying the weight of accumulated isolation. The script captures the raw vulnerability of a teenager who has built her hopes around a single friendship only to see it shatter. Barbara's initial attempts to calm her friend are laced with panic, as Melanie reveals she has swallowed pills. The shift from social awkwardness to genuine emergency is handled with masterful pacing. The writers allow the audience to feel the full horror of the moment through Barbara's escalating fear while never losing the humanity of Melanie's cry for help. Anne Romano's response exemplifies the strength and presence of mind that define her character as a single mother. Upon learning of the situation, she immediately takes charge, instructing Barbara to keep Melanie talking while Julie calls the police to trace the call. The family springs into coordinated action, reflecting the tight bond they have forged through previous challenges. Schneider, the reliable neighbor, is drawn into the crisis, offering his characteristic mix of concern and comic relief. His suggestions telling Melanie to walk around or make coffee provide moments of levity that ease the unbearable tension without undermining its seriousness. This ensemble response highlights one of the show's greatest strengths: the portrayal of chosen family and community support in times of crisis during an era when many young people felt increasingly isolated. Barbara's guilt becomes the emotional core of the sequence. Convinced that her honest rejection of Melanie's advances directly caused this crisis, Barbara repeatedly cries out that it is all my fault. The script delves deeply into this self-blame with compassion and insight. Anne offers powerful maternal wisdom, reminding her daughter that she has nothing to feel guilty about and that no one can control another person's actions. Yet Barbara's anguish feels authentic and earned, reflecting the heightened sense of responsibility many sensitive teenagers carry. In 1970s America, as divorce rates climbed and family structures evolved, young people like Barbara often internalized the emotional burdens of those around them. The episode uses this moment to explore the limits of personal influence and the danger of excessive guilt, themes that remain profoundly relevant decades later. The telephone conversation itself is written with exquisite tension. Melanie's fragmented speech references to the Bible bringeth out to light the shadow of death, and her insistence that all friends do is take advantage of you paint a devastating picture of deep-seated pain. Barbara's desperate efforts to keep her on the line, promising love, mentioning Cliff's supposed interest, and pleading for her location demonstrate both her compassion and her inexperience in handling such a grave situation. The writer's attention to realistic dialogue shines here, capturing the halting emotional cadence of a real suicide threat call. The revelation that Melanie is likely in a motel, pieced together from her mention of Bibles commonly found in such rooms, adds urgency and clever detective work to the family's response. Schneider's involvement brings necessary comic grounding to the high-stakes scene. His CB radio calls to truckers' prayers to God and the Indiana Teamsters Union and colorful anecdotes about motels provide welcome relief while illustrating the resourcefulness of the building's residents. These moments reflect the show's signature style, finding humor in darkness without disrespecting the gravity of the situation. The 1970s setting is enriched by references to then-current technology: landline phones, police call tracing, and citizens' band radio, which were vital tools in emergency response before the widespread availability of mobile phones. The portrayal of Melanie's despair connects to broader social realities of the era. Teenage suicide was becoming recognized as a growing epidemic in the 1970s, influenced by social upheaval, family disruptions, and limited mental health resources. By depicting Melanie's cry for help, the script contributes to early television awareness of these issues, treating the subject with dignity and care rather than sensationalism. Her pain feels genuine, rooted in repeated moves, parental denial, and a profound need for genuine connection. This sensitivity elevates the episode beyond typical sitcom fare. Anne's calm authority during the crisis provides a model of responsible single motherhood. Her ability to comfort Barbara while coordinating help demonstrates the resilience she has cultivated through years of navigating life alone. Julie's supportive presence and quick thinking further strengthen the family dynamic. Together, they embody the show's central message that love, honesty, and collective effort can help weather even the most frightening storms. The script's warm third-person perspective allows the audience to feel both the terror of the moment and the reassuring strength of the Romano household. As the call continues, and the police work to trace it, the episode masterfully sustains suspense. Barbara's repeated apologies to Melanie, and her offers to give up Cliff underscore her deep sense of responsibility. The writers balance this intensity with subtle observations about human nature, how desperation can reveal both the best and most painful aspects of relationships. The motif of guilt introduced earlier through the poetry incident reaches its fullest expression here, allowing for rich character growth. Historical context deepens the resonance of every beat. In an era before widespread suicide prevention hotlines and school counseling programs, families often had to improvise responses to such emergencies. One Day at a Time reflects this reality, while gently advocating for greater awareness and compassion. The writer's appreciation for the performances required is evident in the nuanced emotional shifts demanded of the cast, from panic to determination to tentative hope. By the conclusion of this powerful sequence, the audience is left breathless yet moved. The phone call from despair marks a turning point, transforming a story of teenage social mishaps into a profound meditation on loneliness, responsibility, and the redemptive power of family support. Barbara's guilt, though heavy, becomes a catalyst for growth, while Melanie's cry for help humanizes the often overlooked struggles of the outsider. This part of the episode exemplifies the groundbreaking nature of One Day at a Time. It dares to address serious mental health issues within the framework of a classic sitcom, using humor, heart, and sharp observation to illuminate the hidden pains of adolescence in 1970s America. The seamless integration of drama and warmth ensures that the audience emerges not overwhelmed but enlightened and comforted by the enduring strength of the Romano family. The crisis sets the stage for the hospital vigil and parental confrontation to follow, promising further exploration of guilt, denial, and the difficult path toward healing. Through Barbara's journey and the family's united response, the script reaffirms its commitment to portraying life's most challenging moments with honesty, compassion, and hope.